Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to continuing coverage of the Phil Burke Pandemic Putt International Invitational Classic. I'm your host, Dan Ellis, also an insomniac. As you can see, it is 4:30 a.m. and I thought it best to start a new segment called How the Champions Sleep. Behind this door, we have sleeping our course record holder and current champion, Mr. Phil Burke, scoring a 61 yesterday, besting his 63 from the day before. This man has no bounds. Now, we are going to enter the chamber of Mr. Burke. Luckily for us, there is a latch handle instead of a knob, much easier on the wrist. I would ask that all that are watching, a hush falls over the crowd. We're approaching the handle. We're opening the door. Oh, and we are away into the chamber of Mr. Burke. And what have we here? Oh, we have our champions tees. We have our men's tees. We have our ladies' tees. And we have our juniors tees. Please do stay tuned for the juniors tournament, which will be much later today broadcast. Off to our right. Oh, there's a bathroom. I guess that's where our champion, Mr. Burke, quote unquote, does his business. Now, we are going to approach the inner chamber of Mr. Burke. This is very delicate. We do not want to wake the champion 10 times. Oh, and we're away again. Oh, and there's the choral feature from the course Mr. Burke has expropriated for his own needs, which is the champion's rights. Oh, and there's this makeshift maple leaf corner, Mr. Burke paying homage. Oh, and a fire feature. The only course in North America, indoors or outdoors, to have a fire hazard. Very difficult to negotiate it when one goes to bed. Also, for those people that are walking on hot coals and have problems, not a problem for them. Here we are. Oh, and Mr. Burke has his own concession stand in his bedroom. Very, very rare. And what is this? Toilet paper. Mr. Burke, a hoarder. A hoarder. Our champion is a hoarder. Full rolls, neatly wrapped, unused. There was no toilet paper available for any of the spectators or the professionals on the course today. Mr. Burke hoarding it all to himself. Of course, we are an international tournament, therefore not surprising to find a glove in the room. And what is this? For the very first time seen on the course, a hand washing station. Mr. Burke following the rules of the day, very respectful of our champion. That is worth at least one roll right there. Now, we have a spectator seat. No idea what the spectators would be watching, staring at a blank wall. However, we have to adhere to course rules. Oh, and Mr. Burke has his own dirty laundry corner in his own room. Unsurprising. And what is this? Oh, a hot tub feature. Mr. Burke was somehow able to boil water while sleeping. The man has no bounds. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to library corner. Mr. Burke very smartly continues his learning throughout his life. A lesson for all the children watching. Oh, the vase drop. Ladies and gentlemen, a second item expropriated from the course. Mr. Burke, fitting for a champion. If he cannot launch into bed once, he should have a drop in a second attempt at it. Oh, here we are. Oh, what is this tragically hip shrine? It's not even a corner. It is a shrine. Arguably one of the best Canadian bands in Canadian music history, aside from Rush. But yes, still a wonderful thing, Mr. Burke moving forward. Oh, and he has a hole. He has the hole next to his bed in case he needs a boost up to get into the mattress. Mr. Burke thinking of everything. Oh, and here is what we were waiting for, Mr. Burke. Sleeping soundly as the champions do. Mr. Burke looking equally resplendent in his Toronto Maple Leafs inspired gear, however, shockingly still wearing the same clothes he was wearing earlier. Mr. Burke clutching his ever-trusty putter and also following course rules, wearing his golf glove as is needed for course rules in order to qualify for the champion. So, Mr. Burke, here we are. The reason we are here. Mr. Burke, can we get a few words, please, even though you are sound asleep and it is now 4:35 a.m. in the morning. Mr. Burke stirring a little bit. Mr. Burke, are you awake? Mr. Burke. Mr. Burke still stirring. Well, let's try and shed some light on this subject. Let's try and get some words out of our champion, Mr. Burke. Oh, disaster strikes. The light is on, Mr. Burke. Sorry, but not sorry to interrupt your very sound sleep. Mr. Burke, do you have any comments for the crowd watching this video?
Yeah, no, I thought there was I thought somebody was coming around Maple Leaf's corner there.
Maple Leaf's corner, yes. Footsteps, that was me, yes.
And then somebody said something about concessions.
Oh, my stomach was rumbling. Very impressive, including the toilet paper you hoarder.
And then I think I heard that somebody came through dirty laundry, then the library.
Oh, yes, well, I am one for education always, as are you, sir. We have that in common.
I wasn't sure if anybody hooked up Tragically Hip Corner.
Always. It's always ahead by a century, that corner.
And then I just want to make sure I came in early.
Well, Mr. Burke, do you have any thoughts on your round either earlier today or your round tomorrow?
Well, I wanted to make sure that I came in sweet, and then tomorrow what time's our tea time?
Oh, it's not for 10 hours, sir. We woke you up in the middle of the morning.
Okie dokie.
Well, again, moral of the story, sir. You did not end up in the fire, so therefore you did not get burned. On to the next hole, sir.
Okay.